Any divorce can be messy, and when children or abuse are involved, it adds another level of complications for courts to sort through.
Now state lawmakers are considering 2 bills to address that. Denver 7 politics reporter Megan Lopez explains.
I had all of the forms of abuse, unfortunately. He would get physical.
There are some stories in life you just don't want to retell. Stories you simply don't want to relive.
He picked up a dining room table. It was like a mission style, so it had the pedestal and the big tabletop. Threw it through the wall in front of the kids.
But those stories often end up being some of the most important to share, like Rebecca Zimmerman's, a story about domestic violence, divorce, and a court system she says worked against her.
I finally, after about 7 years of marriage, had enough of emotional and physical abuse. I went into court thinking, I have all this evidence of how abusive he is, and there's no way they're going to put these 2 innocent little girls in his care. And the judge didn't see it that way.
Or Leah Ricor.
There was kind of this trauma that you go through, understanding that you're leaving this relationship and being brave enough to do that. But then there was like a secondary trauma of not being believed.
Both women say the court process doesn't support victims. Now both are advocating for changes in Colorado.
The only thing left is faith because all the systems in place are failing you. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Representative Meg Froelich says getting laws right can be the difference between life and death.
We've had 3 cases just within the last year in Colorado in which custody granted to an abuser has led to the death of the child.
This session,
how the system has failed survivors.
Colorado lawmakers are debating 2 more bills in that realm. One creates a task force that looks at training for court personnel who are involved in domestic violence proceedings.
We're hoping that awareness across the system from the custody evaluators and other court personnel and judges leads to better outcomes.
The other sets more guardrails around who can be involved in those proceedings and what evidence can be admitted.
Anybody who chimes in on who the parent, how the custody arrangement should go, needs to know about, to be skilled and trained in domestic violence and all its forms and how it presents.
There are some stories that are hard to share, but Leah and Rebecca hope by telling theirs, other families won't have to suffer.
It's just really important that we help judges understand the true dynamics of abuse.
Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
And let's dig into these numbers for you now. The Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, or RAIN, looked at statistics from the criminal justice system, and their data finds the majority of sex assault cases go unreported. And it finds out of every 1,000 assaults, just 310 are reported to police. And of those reports, just 50 people are arrested, and only 25 cases lead to a conviction. And reasons for not reporting abuse, I should say, vary, but RAIN's study finds fear of retaliation and the belief that police won't do anything to help are really the main reasons.
They're disturbing statistics. And the state legislature has been working to address the family court system for the past 2 years. One change was due to a year-long Denver 7 investigation. That case involved 10-year-old Ty Tesserero. Ty was killed by his own father the night after a custody hearing gave Ty's mother full custody. Now, Ty's mother said she didn't want her son with his dad that night, but her pleas went unanswered. In May 2021, Governor Polis signed a bill into law in Ty's honor. It required the Department of Human Services to create a domestic violence task force and create new definitions of child abuse. A separate bill was signed in June 2021 called Julie's Law, and that law increased and clarified domestic violence training requirements for court personnel.